Quick reminder, guys, this is for educational purposes only. Nothing we say here should be construed as financial advice. If you need financial advice, please contact your financial advisor. I did want to quickly look at SPY per usual. So the yellow highlighter bar that marks when we last met 2 weeks ago, May 4th, you can see we are literally trading the exact same levels that we were on that day. And so just for reference, same points I'm looking at, it's going to be the 410, 411 zone highlighted there, 414, which we've been trading against the past few days, and then 416. Another thing you'll notice here is price action has kind of struggled with the 21 MA there. So that's going to be a solid reference point. And then the 50 MA to the downside. Price continues to just hang out within this channel. And then the blue and green are that's the fibs from the COVID crash. So just as references. Now, again, we had talked in the last session about worst case scenario, honestly, being a sideways move. And that's pretty much what we're seeing here, with the exception of, a couple of days of some selling. So with that being said, in the chop, just kind of as an aside here, I'm personally maintaining a very narrow focus and looking at those stocks that are actually doing like huge volume, kind of going on their own, honestly. Times like this, I'm looking for less market plays unless we're, testing either the 50 MA or these recent highs in the 416, kind of the edges of the range is where we can see a serious move. And then I'm more interested in market plays. I know Mario's approach may differ from that. I'll let him touch on that here shortly, but that's kind of what I'm doing here these past couple weeks, and what I'll continue to do if we continue to chop. So Mario, if you want to go ahead and take it away, make you host.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead. All you.
Thank you. So, I think I gave you guys an exercise yesterday in the main room, right? And so I want to let you guys who did the best, and that was Dominic. So thank you for participating. I tried it. The more you guys share, the more I can share with you guys. And what I was trying to do was exactly make it a point into what Kyle just talked about, right? Like, what do we trade? And there's like, over the last 14 days, there was actually like 2-3 awesome trading days, right? So
we can't see your screen, just by the way. Sorry to cut you off there.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So over the last, how many days would you say? Like over the last 14 days, actually, there was actually like 2-3 days that I can say they were like awesome trading days. And the way I'm always trying to find the chart that is going to tell me what to do, right? So here we were last time, right? And similar to what Kyle presented on the Qs, on the SPY, actually, we are right here today. So we were pretty much testing that low right here. We talk about 332 by 342.50 being key, right? So we thought we were going to probably just go, and that was like if we were thinking on a bullish pattern, right? Like it was like from here to here, and then we have the pullback. So 50 MA usually holds. It did hold for 1 to 3 days. We try to break, and then we have the solid trade right here, right? That was a absolute trend day, and then we have another trend day here. So you can call that probably this. That was the day that we tested the 326 for the first time. That was also probably a good entry point for swings, right? Or I'm sorry, not swings, for intraday trades. That means I try to buy in the morning, I try to hold and see where the market is going to take me. As you guys know, I haven't been that active lately because I'm pretty much picking my battles. This is a time where I usually am on vacation. So normally I'm not here at this time of year. So I'm taking a couple days off this week, a couple days off next week. So I recommend that if you don't have anything like too pressing that forces you to stay sitting here like the whole day. You just take your time, you know, mix it up, read a little, get some books, get some videos, get some, you know, review your lessons, review your material, make sure you go back to basics, make sure you don't just waste your time and your money, because whenever you get hit, you take a loss, you're not learning from it, it is a loss, absolutely loss. If you at least get a lesson from it, and that's what we try to make, help you realizing here, right? Let's try to figure out what is it that we need to do if we're approaching the market in a right way, in a correct way for what is happening, and then we take it from there. So I'm going to start with the cues, pretty simple. We go in here. This is the monthly chart. This is the monthly chart. So what we're seeing is we try to break the 342.80. We were thinking on a top around 347, right? This has been here for I'll say like a month now. That was my extension, and that's my thought. And that was when I was ready to get, you know, pretty much more defensive. We didn't even hit it, so we know what happened, right? That day, you know, with the earnings and everything failed. No, nothing followed through all the way down to, guess, surprise, point of control. Now you know why I follow so closely the point of control. I know it looks far, like it's not gonna get there, but you know, it was just like a couple weeks and we hit it right here. So what do you do when you hit the point of control? That's one of the days when I want to trade, like Kyle says, you know, so you know 316, you're going to try to make a trade right there, probably not on the first day or the second day, right? So where are we located here? Um, we have this discussion with a group, and then, you know, the main question we asked was like, okay, where are we? Because that's what we need to be checking all the time, right? Where are we? Like in here, it was pretty simple. We were in an uptrend, and we as traders tend to get in trouble whenever the uptrend starts to, you know, whenever we're so used to just the uptrend, everything going up, you know, it lets you, it lets you, let's say, it lets you make some mistakes. You don't need to be as precise, right? When the market is I'm sorry, when the market is running, you can overpay, you know, you
It's
can be
more
a little
forgiving.
late. Yeah, more forgiving. That is exactly what I was trying to say. But when we're into this type of market, I tell you guys, I mean, it's not gonna let you. I mean, it's not gonna let you get away with pretty much anything. We saw that idea, great idea that somebody posted in the room today for snow. You know, when he called it was 227. We saw the daily point of control was at 228. That's not the right time to get in a 200 something dollar stock when you have 1 point to go. I don't know how you trade, but that's not a trade for me. So we said wait for 222, came back to 222, make the run to 227. That's the type of play you gotta take, because it's not gonna happen anymore. You know, unless you're into something that is like with news, or that's not my type of play. You know, I rely on technical analysis. That's what I do. That's what I know. So if I'm not trading technical analysis, I'm just not trading. That's plain and simple. So going back to what we are, this is what we are, right? So what I have is like we didn't make a significant new high in the market. So it's very much what is called a stage 3 market, which is a sideways market. So we need to resolve this one, right? How are we going to resolve? Worst case scenario, we said we're going to stay in this range for, you know, for the rest of the summer, coming into probably August, September. We don't even know. I've seen like people that said like September, October, that they look like we're still in the summer. So get ready for that. You know, it may happen. This may be the year. We just have the biggest market rally ever, pretty much. So nothing wrong with the market just taking like 6 months, you know, off, pretty much. So what do we do there? We become more technical. We become more. We stock more. We get better at getting on entries, and we get better ideas, trade idea. That's what we're gonna be doing here. So we're in a range, and I'm gonna approach the market as a range. That's my main point. So pretty simple. I'm pretty sure you guys know it just from looking at my chart. So I'm gonna be looking at 316, which is a daily point of control in the Qs, right? So daily point of control at 316. That's number one. What's the number two reference point? We got it right there in red. 327.21. What is it? I want to show you guys here. This is the 50-day MA. So we're trading under the 50-day MA. So 327 Of course, it's going to be a reference point. Plus, we have 1 to 3 days. No wonder today that was the trade I wanted to make. I think I talked about us wanting confirmation of a daily buy, right? So a daily buy is this pullback into support, right? Once I have the bounce, what I want to see is like confirmation. Confirmation comes with volume. I don't see any volume in here. I don't know if you see it, but I don't see volume. I don't see volume. I don't see volume. So I have no confirmation until I break 327, 328 now, okay? So that's for the bigger picture. Now, once we clear that area, it's just gonna be like back into the resistance zone, which is gonna be 335 by 342. So I mean, believe me, if we can get it from 326 or 327, we're gonna be okay. So we can pretty much fail at 336, 337. If you want to be trying to buy 336, 337, that's going to be hard. So I'd rather have you waiting for the real break, which is 340, 342.80. If you think that we're going to continue on with a new upturn, basically. So we will be like, this will be like a V-shaped new high, and that's what we need to do, right? However, I'm going back and I'm going to state in this again. I think we're going to be trading sideways for a while. So this is going to be my reference point. This is my chart. This is what I'm going to be doing. 316, remember 316, 315, 327, 328, and 340. Okay. So far, I think we have a clear understanding of what is it. Once we have those levels, what we're going to be doing is going to be game planning. And that's up to every single one of you, how you game plan. So this is how we game plan, you know, the 30-minute, and we start looking for the support. You can see support right here. People were talking about the big drop today. Well, it's not a big drop, right? If we have a short tomorrow, it's going to be a trigger on the 321, and we can probably take it all the way to 316. So for tomorrow, if we happen to break 321, we could trade it to 316, which is our daily point of control. Now, if we have one of those days where we start breaking, well, great for us, right? If you take the short. So that's pretty much the trade for tomorrow that we're going to be looking. If we go over 327, then we play the long side of the chart. Let's start with FANG. And for today, what I'm going to do is at the end or towards the end, I have a list of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 stocks that we don't usually go over, but I think they might be the ones that are going to be in play. So I'm going to go with the broad market, the FANGs, the ones that you all love, we all love to trade. But then I'm going to give you a list of 15 trades that may work for the next 15 days, because there's a lot of work in here. We gotta stay sharp if we're gonna make money here. So for Apple, it's pretty much the market, right? So for Apple, I'm just gonna call it a market play, meaning you're gonna be looking at the 122, which is the point of control in a daily. You're gonna be looking at the 50 MA, which is 128, and you're gonna be looking at 135, right? Anywhere around 122, 128, 135, I want alerts. I want to be on top of that, and I want to see what Apple is doing. Pretty simple. Not going to waste time with Apple. Then we go to Amazon, right? So Amazon was trying to break today, and I was eyeing it because what we have right here is like we have massive volume in here. So a closing Amazon, you know, 3347. That was the one that we pretty much missed 3 days after earnings, right? So I will be more bullish into Amazon only over 3370. Let's call 3370, right? Now the problem we have is it looked like we were gonna go today, but guess what? We hit the 20 MA. So if you're familiar with the 20 MA, that's the blue line right here. I use Bollinger Bands to measure how far are we from the average. So I use a 3 and 3 for this chart that I present to you. You can use a 2, you can use a 3. So here's like 3 standard deviations from the 20 MA. This is like a no buy zone. You're extended, right? That's one way to put it. Like that's one way I use. So in here, you're shorting into 3 standard deviations. You're extended. You don't short right there. You wait for trying to buy it right here. Once you buy it right here, this is a mean reversion trade, right? You hit your target today. That's it. No more to the trade. Now, what we're looking is, can we continue now on this downtrend that we have here on the shorter term, right? Shorter time frame. If you see it here, you just make a low, come back right here into the 20 MA, right into resistance, support, now becomes resistance. Now, can this be a short? Absolutely. So 32.50 for 31.50. Under 32.50 for 31.50. And remember, I'm not doing anything but technicals right here. So that will be your target. If we go over 33.15, I'm going to wait for 33.70. And then from 33.70, I'll go to probably 34.33. Okay. So if you recall our previous meetings, I'm changing the game plan a little bit because the market's still in that phase where it's a range. So I want to make sure that I'm on both sides of the trade. So we got the A and Facebook, right? So Facebook was looking interesting this morning. Actually, was one of my main watches, right? I wanted to be long this one. If we go over 317.05, I still want to be long over 317.05 or 317.25 better. But the thing is, like, I don't think we're gonna hit it tomorrow, right? Momentum shifted to the downside, and the problem here is we can easily come and test at 300 again, right? So let's look at the 30 MA at the 30 moving the 30-minute chart, and what we have is we failed to make a new high right here. We testing right here this area on the 309. So if we break 309, you can take a momentum trading to 305 and 300. So Facebook on the 309 for 305 and 300, right? The other way around is like I want to remain aware when Facebook tests 300. If we test it again, why? Because when you come into your longer term charts, this is the area where we know there was like this is a pivot, this is another pivot, and we know that this is the area where we make a massive move of 10%. So last time when we tested 300, it was bought, right? This is my entry, right? The 317 that I'm waiting for. That's a weekly buy setup. Once we go over the hammer and we go long with volume, so it could happen this week because we still got like 3 days. So it could. If not, we're gonna be looking for that one the next week. Now, what's gonna happen likely is momentum is gonna continue to the downside. So it shouldn't be it's not a stretch to think that we can go 310, 305, 300, and then Thursday they start buying it again, check everybody out, and then next week we stay here between 300 and 310, right? So that's basically what I want to be looking, right? 307, 309, I'm sorry, what am I talking about? 317, that was the level. 317, that's the weekly pattern. And then I'm going to look at the 305, 309, 4, 305, and 300. So you can call this one also a 300 by 310 range, right? The 300 by 310 range, that's the daily chart. The weekly chart is a buy setup over 317. Yep, finally get it. So that's Facebook. We got the Netflix, which is the end. Let's look at Netflix. Netflix hasn't done pretty much anything, right? So we're just sideways. We got the 486, so we're trading under all of these massive levels. I want to be long probably once we start going over 507, so I'm just going to put my alert. I'm not sure if it's there because it may have trigger. So 507, and this should be clear to every single one of us. So we have a up move, and now we're in a range. I know it's a tradable range because it's wide and everything, right? The problem with those ranges is you have to know exactly when is the day where you have the higher odds to have a nice red candle like this one or a nice green candle like this one, not one of this, because that's the one where you spend a lot of money on your spreads, or on paying the spreads to trade a stock like Netflix, and then you just it's not a good trade, to put it simply. So I'm looking at Netflix and I'm looking for 507. Once we start getting 507, I'll probably evaluate if there's a trade going into 560 as a range trade, right? If we break you can probably take it, but if you see my 3 standard deviation stands at 472, so it's gonna be like 477 for 472. I know it's big, 5 points move, you can get it, but I don't wanna put it out there. So keep an eye on Netflix. Not a lot to see there, right? What did I say? 506, Kyle, I think, right? 506,
507.
507, 507, 508. That area right there. So we got the N, and we only missing the Fang, right? Google, yeah,
And Microsoft, yeah.
Microsoft, yeah, that's the new one. So for Google, I'm still looking at the monthly chart, massive run. So what we're doing is like just a sideways consolidation. We're still on the top of the range. This one's the, it just looks great still. We gotta be very careful not to get trapped on this one, right, guy? Like the first day you're coming from 2206, you're trying to buy 3300 versus the 20 MA. So that's hard. That's a hard trade, right? Especially when you don't have the volume. So I know technically it looks like, oh my god, it's just gonna go, but then you have to put the other filters that you use for your strategy, so like, yeah, today's not the day for Google. Okay, so we're looking for the day for Google. So now what we have is a good reference point on this red bar, right? So over 33 2310, that could actually work. Why? Look at the all the volume that we have to the left. So we can do 2370. So you can do probably 2310 for 2370 on Google. Okay, 20 through 20, 2308, 10 for 70. So that's 62 points, I think it is. That could be a nice trade. That could be a nice trade. Let me see where it's trading. So yeah, nothing's gonna happen. I'm gonna put my alert right here. For you guys, this is a good exercise. Just do your alerts as I'm doing mine. So then, at least you know that we talk about it. Then Microsoft, let's see what Microsoft's doing. So Microsoft has still in an uptrend, didn't have the same push that we saw in Google, as clean as it was. So we got the issue with the earnings, pretty much like the market, look exactly like the market, 263, then came down, didn't test the point of control. I mean, the daily point of control over the last year. So we are testing here. This is for this year's the 240. The 240 is acting like sort of a support right here. We can see it here. So the 240, we can look at that 240, right? And let me look at the weekly. This is the market pretty much. This is exactly the same trade that I'm thinking with Facebook, right? We come right here, we go to 40, we decide if we want to cover our shorts, buy some longs, see if we hold, wait for the break, whatever it is, right? So the 240 is like the main one to watch. Watch the 240, the 230, 223, and I'm gonna be just trading the weekly chart for Microsoft. Okay, so MSFT weekly chart or key levels 240 and especially 223, 233 daily point of control. Let's move to our semiconductor watch list, and there we have the Nvidia. I thought Nvidia was gonna make it today, guys. The 575. I have an alert. I think it did, because I heard my alerts going, but that's the point, right? So now we need 577 if you're looking to do that momentum trade, right? I was looking at that trade. Look what happened the last time we were here. So that was it. So we have the green bar all the way, pretty much what the others did, right? With the market right here came all the way down to point of control. So I wasn't trading that day, I'm pretty sure. That's a key level. That's what I like to watch it, especially when you also have point of control and 200 MA, right? You can do pretty much anything you want right there, but just keep in mind that usually that should act at least the first time as support. So try not to be the last guy shorting. Short into it, not at. Okay, that's my only recommendation or my only tip that I can give you there, right? So what we have is like we have a massive move. Now we have a pullback. What I'm looking is for any signal of strength. What I call signal of strength is basically that, just that. I want to see buyers. I want to see green bars and I want to see volume with it, right? So this is another way that we can do it. What we're doing right here, we have sort of, we can call it some accumulation, especially over the last 3 days. We can see we tested the main level right here that everybody was looking, the 534 with the 200 MA. People bought. The following day we try to break. Now we have the 50 MA, which usually is like, it serves like a support resistance, at least the first time we get in there. So I think this is a good one. I think this is a one worth watching, especially if we happen to have news, any volume like higher than average volume in Nvidia. That's the one that I will go probably. So 578 for 600, right? 586 is the first target, which is the MA, over 578 for 586 about, which is the 20 MA. Pretty simple. And then we try to get to 600, right? And that will be a momentum trade. Momentum trade means I need to see the buyers, right? There's no
Big
buying.
volume.
Yeah, exactly. It's no buying support right here. It's no slow trade, nothing like that. You have to have the momentum. Otherwise, we're gonna go all the way to 536. Put an alert of 536. If we get to 536, then we can talk about it, discuss, game plan it in the room. That's the beauty of being in the room, that we can absolutely call it. We say, hey, Kyle, Mario, NVIDIA is approaching daily point of control 536. What do we do here? And then we can game plan as a team, which is part of the good thing, right? So AMD, basically the monthly still right there, sort of stage 3 sideways consolidation after a big run up, amazing run up for from, yeah, I don't know, for, from 50 to 100. So it run like crazy. Now we are at 75, so we're giving some back. Now what's going on right here? Am I a buyer right here? That's the main question, right? And it's been really hard to trade AMD. Last time we did it, we tested support, and guess where it will, all the way to 89. We failed to continue higher, and I'm not sure if that was that on earnings, right? Yeah, that was the earnings day. So now earnings out, what do we do from here? We can call it a reversal trade if you must, like especially if we start trading over 76.50. So I'm gonna put it here, 76.50. I'm gonna use that green bar as my anchor, right? I like it that we put a lower price right here. So I'm pretty sure people got trapping here trying to short this into the lows. So it could be interesting if a close over at 78, 76.87 can take us back to 79 and probably 82. Okay, so that's reversal. Remember, those are not my best, my go-to, unless there's a catalyst in AMD and we start seeing like a small gap up. Then we know we have 77.50 to 80. That's the way I like to approach those. Okay, it has to have something, right? News, upgrade, volume, gossip, Wall Street bets, or anything like that. What else we have? AMD, NVIDIA,
MU.
MU. Wow, I totally forgot about that one. I haven't even again. Under 85, we're still trading under 85. I don't like it because that one's not in stage 3. I think it was too extended. You guys see the monthly, we just went straight from 50 to 100, and now this doesn't look like a range right here. So that's quite interesting, because if we can start coming down, here's the volume. So we're trading under daily point of control under 86. That was the break. This is the day. This is the day to trade it, right? Try to bounce. So this is our reference point. Pretty much what we're doing with AMD, but with this one, I'm a little bit more inclined to the short side. So let's look at MU for trades under 78, 50 under 78 for 76, 72. Okay. There's 78 for 76 target one intraday, and for 72 if we happen to have like a massive day. And of course the next one is 69, right? Based on here. Let me look at the weekly. Oh, yeah, not a chart that I will. Technically, we should be buying just when it goes to 85 or 73, 71, 69, right in here. This is the next area. We tested right here. You trace a line from here. You see here, we tested here. So this is. I mean, it's not too far either. Thinking that a short on a bad day like tomorrow, if it starts coming down, we can probably hit 20, 75, 76, 72. Okay, so MU, it's a bear watch. Gonna put a B right here. Anything else on semis, guys? MU, AMD. I even forgot the Xilinx. No, we don't trade Xilinx, right? Excel next. Okay, I'm gonna move. So let's do streamers. We already did Netflix. Let's do Disney. And I know we have the news. We were looking at the 170. 170 was support. First time we tested, that was a trade. And now the problem is like we've been like retesting, right? So now if we go under 168.25, 29, 168.50, that's your short for 169, 161, I'm sorry. So under 168 on a closing basis, we can see 161 as a target, right? 161, 159. Okay, that's about here. Because I expect to see a flush. If we don't see a flush, then get out, because this is just going to start chopping right here, and then we go 181. If we go 175, because this is good for good 15 days. So 175, we try to take it back to 181, 185, which is the daily point of control and the 50 MA. So both sides, based on what they decide to do with Disney. Remember, we're momentum traders, right? So we just go with the main move. If it's an expansion or impulse move to the short side, and we're at good location with a good setup, we just short. And if it's not, if it fails, then it's the other side. So pretty simple right there. Roku, that was the other one I tried today, Kyle. I totally forgot what was it. Yeah, the Roku was trying to break. Right, so if you see it, that's the reason why it was on my radar, right? We have a 319 as the daily point of control, and we have targets in the 330, which is 19, 11 points, and then 343, right? We come right here, that's 343, and we're trying to find, we have a big move up, right? And we're forming a hammer right here on a monthly basis. So let's look at how our weekly is looking, and then you see that I'm not the first one buying, right? We already have these guys bought right here against the 50 MA. So all I was looking today was to get into daily point of control, which is 319, and try to take it. So this is still valid. If you ask me, this is one of the ones that I'm going to be looking at tomorrow. So bigger, higher than average volume. So we have the volume, we have the move. So for Roku, we're going to be looking at 321, which is the daily point of control. And we're trying to trade a weekly buy, right? So we got this hammer, we got the buyers right here with the 50 MA. We're trying to get into this momentum move right here, 340, 350, 370, if we get lucky. So at least we know for tomorrow, we go over high 332, we should be hitting 343, and then probably 350. Okay, 343 and 350. I think it's similar to what we talk about today. What's the other streaming? Fubo, you guys still trading Fubo? I see it posted every now and then. So for Fubo, I'd rather wait for the monthly chart to trigger. So that's going to happen around 24.50, 25. When we start seeing 24, 25, then we can probably start seeing more momentum. I'm not saying it's not going to move because it's 20 and it moves like 10% during the day, but that's not my go-to. So let's put alerts at 23.50, 24.50, and for sure at 25. I want to see how this monthly chart reacts if we start seeing, like, look at this. This is sideways, move up, pull back into daily, into monthly point of control. So we have a lot of volume. If this volume is right, we could see 25 to $50. So that's a 100% move. So you don't need to be like getting chopped in here trying to trade 21.50 to 22 or 21.50 to 21.70. Okay, that's just my 2 cents. We come right here and aggressive as you want. Yeah, 25.50, 24.50, 24.50, 25.50. So full ball, 24.50, very aggressive, 25.50, and then refer to the monthly chart. Monthly chart. Okay, that's the one we want to be trading. This is the one I want. This is the one I want to. If we hit the 100, this is the one we want to remember. Okay, Fubo. What else we have, Kyle? This Netflix.
I think that's it for streamers now.
That's it for streamers, right? Okay, let's
go.
go.
You want to go into payments, maybe?
Yeah, let's do the payments. Oh, you know what? What we forgot? Qualcomm. I just saw it from the last meeting. So Qualcomm, I'm not sure how is that one trading. Yeah, I see 88%. Volume is sort of low. I want to get involved again over 135. So just an alert. Let it. The real trade I want is the 140. So let it just figure out what is it that you want to do. We say 140 is a monthly buy, and I think it's the same. Still right here, the monthly buy is going to be 140. So don't feel like trying to bottom fish that one. So sorry, payments. Let's do Square then. So Square, pretty sure you all are on top of the news about Bitcoin and all the cryptos with Elon and all that stuff. So this is interesting right here. Why is this interesting? Because we try to break this base, right, on higher than average volume, and we didn't, right? So what we have today is like 4 inside days on this big volume chart, big volume bar. So if we can 212, where is that 212 put us in here in the chart? 212 to 222. We can probably take a momentum reversal trade on Square, like, but it's very aggressive, guys. Put it as reversal, and you know that reversal, you need the market with you, like everything's running or Square gets some news. So for 212 to 232, and I cannot emphasize that enough. The fact that you see it flying at 931, 935 doesn't mean that it's just gonna go. It could be just pain in the tape for you. They get you up there, you pay up right there. Next thing you know, it closes at 180. So be careful with this type of trades, especially when you don't have a news catalyst. Usually you will get it. Either Kyle will post it in the main, in the main watch, the topics. You get it right there, or the stream, the service, the Opinicos Wire will also tell you if there's any news worthy, right? Worthy. But then again, it's just gonna be the price action first minutes, and you will need to see the buyers buying. But again, 212 for 232 as a reversal trade, and highlight is a reversal trade. So you know the implications of that. Let's see PayPal. And for PayPal, we are at the daily point of control. Apparently, there was the news. No, that wasn't the news because this is a different day right here. That was earnings, and they tested point of control, bounce, and then they try to break support, bounce, no volume. So I'm not seeing the volume right here. I'm not seeing the love. So for this one, I think I'm gonna keep my alert right where it is, 260. Of course, since it's coming down, so what you see is that the moving average is coming down. So that's when I, adjust my alerts to 255. But this could be a good gauge, right? Once we start getting into say through 34, that could be interesting. That could be interesting because if we stay here, this one may catch a little bit, and then this one's coming down, so we may have a cross, and then we probably have a good trade under 230 for 217. Okay, so let's watch this one in case we break 230 for 217. And what I need is time. I don't think it's just gonna fall, but you never know. So PayPal, you want to do payments as in Visa too? I just don't
Sure, yeah.
understand. It's just. So this one gap up and then close the gap. that type of trading, I hate it. Not my favorite, guy. So what can I say about Visa? It's just the most boring uptrend ever, I think. So you can see it on the monthly chart from 81 to 225. So if you went long anywhere, pretty much, well, I don't know how to trade this one. Mastercard. It's sort of an uptrend, right? But that's all I can say. So Square, PayPal. What else do we use for payments? Square. We want to do electrics. Tesla. So now Barry has a short on Tesla, and apparently they're not gonna take crypto, and they have like a lot of inventory. So this one's looking really good, guys. This one's looking really good. I'm talking about the daily chart. We're under daily point of control. We're under the 50 MA. We're under the 200 MA. So if we break 550, 500 is the normal first call, right? But I think it's 500 and 400, right? So Tesla, once we start breaking the 550, we can go for 500 and 400, right? That's not a technical, that's not a fundamental call, whatever it is. Now 500, here's when my time frames start to collide with each other, because 500 should be support, right? See here? So 500 is target one. Now we break 500, you know where we go, right? Now here's the thing, right? This is what we're trying to break. So what we're trying to break is 545 on a weekly chart, right? The weekly chart, what we had is like we have a pullback up, and I know it's boring, but I do this all the time because this is the way that I can try and make sense or understand what's going on with the stock, right? So I see it and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna buy it right here. You have the big move up, then you have the sideways move. Now you have an explosive move, with all the, splits and all that stuff. We were consolidating, right? And as long as we could have hold this, should have been, of course, bullish. Now what happened is we went all the way down, so we tested pretty much this break point, right? That 510, I mean, it's 541. That's the same thing. It's 30 points. That's nothing, right? 6%. Within 6%, that was a massive dump. Now we try to break, again, this is bullish again. We pretty much, I don't know what it is, but we went, try to make a new high. No new highs. This is a new higher low. Higher low, no, I'm sorry. Lower high. This is a lower high. So what we have right here is we have a new pivot point, right? So what he's saying is, like, if you're doing trend analysis, you just take your line from here to here. So now what I'm waiting is this one needs to break and make a new low. If we make a new low, now we are in an official downtrend. So it's not there yet. If you were to trade this, you should have been short right here, 700, which is pretty much where it looks like a lot of people shorted, right? Which is the break of the 50, the break of the daily point of control. That's why all the volume is right here. So that's the place to go short. 700 now. We're trading momentum right now, right? So what I want to see is I want to see any type of break and coming back, and then you trade it all the way. 500 target 1, 400 target 2. If we stay here, you know how to trade that. That's just a range. So 600 for 700. Okay, but this is interesting. This is one that we're going to be talking about for probably this next 6 months, to be honest. This is going to be fun. So keep Tesla on the main chart and always look at the weekly chart and make sure that you know exactly where we are. So 550, 500, that could be tomorrow, by the way. Tesla XPV, which is a Chinese whatever, and the monthly chart is just like a sideways move. We have explosive move, and now we are holding into it. So until we break 38.50, I don't want to be too bullish this one. So that's where I have my alert at 33 and then at 37. Just to keep an eye on that one. Now you may not be as your time frame maybe is not as long as I can, so you might be thinking on trading this range, right? So it all comes down on how you trade. So because this one looks like a hole, that 25. So what we having is a, here on earnings, we put a bottom right here best versus a prior low. So if we can go through here, you can take this one for 10%. So that could be a reversal trade right there from high today, which is 27 to 31. So I'm going to call it as a reversal, XPEV over 27, 32 for 31. And I'm calling it because it's 10% move. So it's plenty. I think it has plenty of move. What I also like is the volume. So we know this red one. So there were some sellers right there. So we pretty much didn't give up. The stock didn't give up to them, try to make a new low, forget it. Now those guys are losing money. Let's see if they can take it for maximum paying at 32 and then probably 30, 37. So XPV, I like it as a reversal. I know Workhorse also. We have a call on Workhorse. You can review the video from March. And we said if we break 12, we go for 9 and for 6. So that was a call for the 12 to 6. That's a 50% drop in that one. We didn't hit it, but we hit $7, right? 707. So it took a long time. I wasn't following, to be honest, guys. And we have the perfect setup because we have the squeeze. So whenever we have the squeeze with the $12, this is one that we need to be on, right? We have a squeeze. We have the massive move down, sideways move, squeeze, 12, 9, and 6. Almost there. So now what do we do with Workhorse? It will be another reversal potential play, but I'd rather stay with XPEF, to be honest, guys. But if you want to trade that one, that's your type of trading. You can take 950 and your target is 11. So it's a good trade too, but I'm just a little upset that I actually didn't execute on that beautiful short that we have on Workhorse. So Neo is the other one. For Neo, I'm looking at the monthly chart. That's the one I want to trade. So I want to see it over 39 or 40. What I don't like is the 50 is about to cross the 200, which is the cross of that. Here we see it right here. So we need this to start shifting like really fast, right? So we can get to 45. Now, is that a trade? It is a trade if you're trading a range. You can see a range right here from 34, 35 to 39. So yes, it's tradable. Yes, could be it. 36, but the trade I want to take is probably this, the 40, the 41, and then try to take it for a 10% move. So Neo is on watch, but the real one I want is over 40 on a monthly chart for 45 and then higher. Okay. Wow, we're going fast today, I think. Let's do Boeing. Let's do Boeing. They're asking about Boeing. Yeah, let's do some airlines. We haven't done any airlines lately. So let's do, oh yeah, we did last time. So BA. I think we're good with what's the other one? Oh, Fisker, right? FSR. And FSR is well, that was that had the news, and that was the guys that they were like booking. I think bookings as sales, or they were talking something like that. Intention to buy as bookings. That was the gossip about it. So if you want to go again, it's another reversal. So I think except Tesla, the Chinese and the other ones, SPACs, or the other electric vehicles are pretty much reversal trades. So you can do a reversal trade here, 1220 for 14. I'm gonna write it down. FSR 1220 to 14 at least. Target one, right? That's target one. Target two is 1503. So let's go with the airplanes and Boeing. We almost hit the target that we have at 280, and then from there it's sideways. um Not sure if I can call that one a stage three. And the technical analysis purists are gonna gang on me because it's not a stage three. We're not technically in an uptrend based on a monthly chart. Let's go to the weekly chart, and what we have is okay. This is actually pretty good. I like it because what we have is the massive lower high right here, then another entry right here, new high technically, sort of higher low, new high right at 200, pull back into the 50 MA. So once we take 240, I like it. So we go 240, 260, and 280. So 240, 260, and 290. I don't know if that infrastructure thing is gonna do anything to Boeing, to be honest. Like there's my alert right there, 240. We also have 212 as daily point of control, but unless we hit 212 and I get like a perfect setup. What is a perfect setup? Something like this, right? Like a pullback, or like a hammer, or like this one right here. Like we come into the office and all we see is like, oh, look at that, it's just moving. I don't want to trade. So that's Boeing. I know American Airlines was in play yesterday. A good call for by Mish and Dominic. Thank you for that. I think they call it the 2250, which was the technically good perfect entry right here. 2250. It hit a high today of 24, which is pretty much target one. You can see it right here. That's a 3 standard deviation. So you're a little bit extended. If you're trying to break, don't buy it at 24. Wait for a good entry. Wait for 23 at least, right? We have the squeeze, which also helps us with that. So what we're looking for this trade is like, let's see how this monthly is gonna evolve, right? So probably the 24, 25, but we need a sideways consolidation. We need a good entry. Basically, that's what I'm waiting for. A setup. This is the entry on a weekly chart. You can see it right here, 2250. Daily was 2450, 2250. Yep, exactly the same. Exactly the same. So this one, we need an entry. You can play momentum if you want, but keep in mind, we're 3 standard deviations right here. So I don't know if that goes with your filters on where to trade. Exactly the same thing happened with United Airlines. Same trade, same trigger, same entry, same target. So what we need is an expansion, volatility expansion, and we should see it if we get into news or anything like that. So for this ones, I just want to see it versus daily point of control, the 53s, and try to see if it's not going to run away without us and just give us like a base or something that we can trade off, right? So no call on UAL. And where are we, Kyle? What are we looking?
You had mentioned 15 or so stocks you had wanted to look at.
What was that? Yes. Okay. So I got CrowdStrike, right? What I like about this one is look at the daily, right there, a daily point of control, about to break the 50 MA and the 20 MA. So that one is not extended. If we can close over that 50 MA and 20 MA, may bring some buyers, right? So what we have is like all of these guys right here that we're short. This is the first igniting move. Then we test it, hold, And now today we have a nice day, higher than average for the last 5 days. Remember, guys, I use the 5-day moving average because I wanna be in the ones that are hot over the last 5 days. That's the only reason why I use it. But volume is still somewhat normal. So that's what he's telling right here. So this one is one I like. Okay, it's a Momo trade. Look at the weekly. So we can see 208, right? I want to go into the this is one of the trades that you can take, 199 based on how you trade, right? So crowd strike, daily point of control, and also if you can look at this one, the 4-hour trade, and this is another one, another way to see it. If you don't see it that clearly on the daily, I usually come here too, and that's a beautiful 200 for 204 and 208. Okay, so I'm giving you a little extra right there. CrowdStrike is one of the ones. I'm also looking at, let me see it here. I think it was Etsy. So Etsy, I'm looking at the over 171 gap, right? Same thing. Look at the monthly. We tested 150 and we hold it, right? Of course, if we go under 150, that's our trade, right? We go over 150, then we know we need to short. But this is interesting for me, so I'll be looking at the 171 as a gap play, not as a gap play, as a fill the gap play, right? I don't call it like that. Just call it a reversal play. 171 for 180 and 181. So that's Etsy, right? The Amazon, we already discussed it, but that's one that I wanted to bring to your attention because I think it's a nice momentum under 32.30 for 31.50. So that could work tomorrow. I'm looking at Baba too. And Baba, what I'm looking is at the 215 gap, right? So we've been working on this one and we're still here, right? The 215. And I'm thinking on a reversal trade right here. What I'm working with is all of these base. So this is a pivot right here. I'm thinking this might be a pivot, right? If we actually break it, well, we know what to do, but it will be 205. What I'm thinking is that probably if we can get the 215.55, 215.60 that I called yesterday, probably if we get some traction, we can see 220. So that's an easy 5 points that I see over there, 220 and 225 for Baba. Those are just ideas that I told you was going to give you in case. The other idea that I have, like one of the 17s or 18s, is Disney on the 168. We said that one already, so you know that one. We already have it. 161. I would just want to make sure that we remember that one. Then we have Quantum Strike. Quantum Escape. I'm sorry. Strike. What is a strike? It's a reversal idea, right? What I'm thinking is 31, right? I'm going to show you why I'm looking at this one. I'm looking at this one because it looks like if it's finding a sort of a base right here, support after earnings are out, right? Normal volume, but I think this one looks a little better, right? So if you want a slow trade, or not a slow trade, but something not too expensive, not too crazy, that may give you 10% move, this could be one. Okay, 31 for 34 and $35, right? So that's QS. Definitely worth a look. If we have, again, for this one, reversals, we need a catalyst, right? So we need to see it tomorrow, like going, okay? Workhorse, we already talked, and I think this one was on your watch list, Kyle. Plug. So for Plug, what we have is like this massive drop. I think it's going to be hard for this one to go back into an uptrend, but at least we can get sort of a bounce, right? So I'm looking for that bounce. And that bounce, what I'm looking is a monthly buy, right? Daily point of control right here. So it's going to trigger 25. It's already here. That's the daily point of control. That's what I was trying to get. And I think it just left. But if we start going 28.50, that's interesting, right? We will be the first on a monthly base, but I think it's 2 weeks already people buying it. So I want to see how strong this is. If we can close over 28.50, that's a trade I'll take. 28.50 for 35 on Plug. So that may not be for tomorrow because I think it triggered today. That's what I was trying to check. Yeah, it triggered today. It triggered today over 25.50. So you see, guys, this is how the idea goes. You see it right here. You see the reversal signal. You see the point of control. You see it 25.50 right in the morning. You wait half an hour, 10 a.m., 25.50. You make a whole bunch of money because that was a big move. So gonna have to get, that was sort of a miss. FSR, we already talked. I'm looking at Palantir. So Palantir, look at the chart. It's very similar to the one that we just saw. The difference is that this one is not a point of control. So when I have this plus point of control, that's even better for me, right? So, but this one, we can keep it. We can keep it on watch. I think we can get 22, 24. You know what? No, I'm going to take this one off. It's not as good as the other one. Look at block. This is what I like. Oh my God. This is what I like. Same pattern at daily point of control, right? With a monthly chart, right? If you come into Palantir, it's been messy. The monthly is not the same chart. It can go, absolutely, it can go for 10%, but that's like anybody can call that one. Oh, this one I like. Lift, right? So the monthly right there at 180, we know support for the year is 85. So I think we hit it today, right? So what we have is a 1, 2, 3 on a daily. Totally missed this one. So we have an entry right here, 86. So here we hit 3 standard deviations. Look at the volume. I like it. So I'm coming right here and I'm looking for an entry. This is a continuation momentum play. Okay, so live as a continuation momentum play. It's a monthly buy and it's a daily breakout play. Also, if you come into the 4 hours, right, you can trade this one too, right? However, this one, to be honest, the entry is like 88.80. So, make sure the game plan follows your trading style. SE, interesting too. We have earnings today. We have the massive move. We closed right at daily point of control. So I don't know what they're going to do with this one, right? I have no idea. So this is what we call a second day play. So for second day play, we're just going to keep it because it's a second day play into daily point of control. So we have the daily point of control. Most likely we have the VWAP for today. I'm going to tell you what it is. So it's the 220. So we're a little extended versus the 220. So, hey, if the market starts dropping, 220 might be a place to take a look at this one. But 228, 229, also, if you know how to play the second day plays, that's a good play. Dash, and I'm almost done. Dash is a 1, 2, 3 on a daily that it looks like now a 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 3, 4 was the aggressive entry today, didn't trigger. So now what we need, it did trigger, I'm sorry, but it didn't trigger the daily. So what we need is a 148. That's where I want to go, right? So dash 148 and target will be, we can take it to 160, I'll say. So 148 for 160. Dash. One more. Hang tough. This is money, guys. This is money. One of these hits, you get paid. So Triple D, and I saw it, I don't know, I can't remember who posted, but I know it was someone in the room too. Posted, great idea. What I like is like earnings, boom, today we try to break. So this could be continuation. I'm going to trade it as momentum tomorrow, right? If we start seeing, if we continue seeing some strength over 25, right? So that's my alert for tomorrow. 25, 25.40, 26.40. And then what is the target? Target should be, target 1, we can hit 30. We got 27, 3 standard deviation. So we need volume to be on that. A lot of volume, right? So 25, 30 for 27 for 30. Guys, this is it. We're all very tired, but thanks for hanging. And I hope we can make a lot of money this next couple weeks.
Solid. Thank you, Mario.
Hey, not a problem. Not a problem. That's the coffee. You see? So you gotta drink coffee. Okay,
All right,
guys.
guys.
Hey, thank you.
See y'all in the morning.
See you more.